Hello everybody and welcome along to the channel and PGA Tour 2K25. So as you can see by the thumbnail and the title, this video is my first two ever rounds in the full game of PGA Tour 2K25. But just before we do get into the video, just a couple of things. One of them is actually to do with the video, but yeah, just a couple of things to get out of the way. Firstly, I would just like to say a massive thank you to 2K for providing me with a code to the full game ahead of release. I am absolutely loving it so far, so truly grateful for that. So just once again, a massive thank you to 2K. Secondly, the one to do with the video is when I was provided with the code for the game. It was actually the weekend, and unfortunately I wasn't able to. I was able to play. Obviously I did record a couple of rounds, but just it was a bit too noisy all in the background and outside, etc. like that. So I said I'm not going to record commentary for it. I will save the gameplay and I'll just do some post commentary. That and the fact that when I did, now that this will possibly reflect on the gameplay that you will see in the background as to how well it went. This round didn't go too bad actually at Pebble Beach, but the next one, the second round then was TBC Sawgrass. That one went bad, which you will see should you stick around long enough to see it. But yeah, as I say, it was the weekend, and it was evening time by the time I booted up the game. I got it installed and booted up the game for the first time. So yeah, I was a few pints of Guinness and a pint of Heineken in already, so I said I'm not going to try and slur my way through commentary on that one. So yeah, I wasn't kind of two factors: a little bit noisy for being able to do commentary, and then the fact that I had a few beers and I didn't want to be all slurry and people saying Jesus, what the hell. But anyway, what do I think of the game so far? That's pretty much what I'm just gonna yap on about. I'm not gonna more than likely commentate or do commentary throughout the whole video. Because at the moment, as I'm recording this section of commentary now, the timeline for the video is just over 50 minutes, so I'm not going to yap on for 50 minutes. So there will probably be a good chunk of the video, maybe even the full round of Sawgrass will be just no commentary. You will have John in the game doing the commentary there. But yeah, at some point during the video, I'll end the commentary. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about my experience so far with the game and how much I'm enjoying it so far, because I can't put it down. So as I'm recording this, I have roughly, I think roughly about 21 hours of play so far. It's just a few more days until the game officially launches. Well, provided if you have pre-ordered the Deluxe or Legend Edition. It will be released obviously on the 21st, and this video should be going live then it should be live on the 20th. So I will say also on the 20th, once embargoes and stuff lift, obviously once this video has gone live, the embargoes will have lifted. I will be doing a live stream for a couple of hours at least anyway on the game. So if you are checking out this video as soon as it has gone live, do feel free. I will be putting out a tweet or whatever the hell you want to call it over on X, and a couple of Facebook groups and such that I'm in, and Discord and stuff like that. I will be putting out alerts that I will be going live within the hour. So feel free to drop along and check out the game and see it live. But yeah, I say I'm planning to do one in the afternoon ish, kind of. That's my plan anyway, and then probably maybe if it allows, if circumstances allowing, should I say, try and get one done in the nighttime. Then just leading up to a couple of hours beforehand, leading up to the launch. In my local time, so it'd be roughly probably about, let me see, the best one to do would be about 7 p.m. Eastern would be roughly when I'd be ending the live stream. May go on a little bit longer, but we'll see. So in terms of the actual game and my experience so far, how am I thinking of it? Well, straight off the bat, absolutely loving it. Obviously, a lot of you know, if you've been here with the channel for quite a while, if you've been around the golf club and the PGA Tour 2K franchise for a long time, you will know I've always had hundreds and hundreds of hours on each game. I regularly did content, and obviously over the last while, now I did have personal circumstances that were getting in the way, and I wasn't able to, as well as wanting to, upload content. But also then with the fact, now obviously this franchise gets released roughly every 2 years. It's been just a little over 2 years since now until the launch of 2K25. But after a certain amount of time, then, even though we have got that fantastic course designer in the game, it does become, although it doesn't become stale to play it, for me anyway, personally, it became after a while very stale and repetitive to be doing the same thing again and again. Even though I'd be doing different courses, obviously, each time, it's the monotony of saying the same thing over and over again. If what's the way, or what's the term that I can't think of the term that I'm wanting to use now? It's it almost felt like a broken record, I suppose, would be the best way to put it, where I'd be like, okay, hole number 2. I've said this before in videos, but okay, hole number 2, par 4, 372 yards, X amount downhill or uphill, and so on and so forth. And yeah, as I say, I just kind of really discouraged me, just that sort of repetitiveness. But this is going to bring the spark back into me now. Hopefully, for what? Every time obviously not long ago I did put out the video about the addition of the custom replays and the quote unquote free cam now for console players in the game, that everyone has to start making noise when I'm recording, and one of them decided to start playing with the toys, but hopefully she doesn't get too noisy. But yeah, that's another thing that I do want to touch on, is, like I say, I'm talking about now the things that I absolutely like. I mean, I'm absolutely loving the game so far. As you can see now, the gameplay in the background is not the best. Like, I was not the first or the second. That was the first time, I think it was. I went OB there. Did it happen here again? I can't remember. No, it didn't. But I know there was one of the holes I went OB twice. Was that the par 5? No, it wasn't the par 5. Oh, it was this one. Actually, yeah. I can just see, what does it say? Yeah, we're on the 6th shot, so this is for a triple bogey. Like, obviously, with getting hands on with the first look demo at first, it felt a bit strange. Now, I know EA's game did have that the angled swing and stuff like that, the swing bias, as it's called here. It took a little bit to get a feel for that. At first, actually, in the demo, I actually shied away from that. And I said, right, lovely, you can turn that off. So I switched it off, and I went back to your straight up and down. And then I said to myself, because I'd seen comments from other people as well thinking the same, like, obviously I love playing TGC Tours and in society events as well. That's the main thing that would draw me to the game if I wasn't recording. And I thought, well, it's going to be active in there. So I'm just going to have to put on my big boy pants and get used to it. So, but one thing that I did find that took me a little while to get used to, and actually, like, not just through the demo, but even the first, I'd say at least the first 8 hours, at least, of all the time that I've played so far in the full game, is getting it into my head where different lies, that swing bias is going to shift its angle. So I have mine set to be a natural fade. So obviously I'm pulling down slightly to the right and then up slightly to the left. But take this shot now, for example, bunker shot here, and it's still the same angle, but depending on the lie of the ball, it's going to shift over the other way. And depending on the severity of the lie, it will depend on how severe the angle is going to be. And obviously, like, this franchise now, going back to the very first golf club game in 2014, so it's now 2025. We'll say 10 years because it was more to, I can't remember exactly. I think it was around about the third quarter of 2014 was when the game was launched, the original golf club game. So we'd just say a little over 10 years. We've been conditioned, and the muscle memory is built up that is just straight down, pull straight back and straight back up, straight back up. And that's what we've been conditioned to do, regardless of the shot type. And it's trying to retrain my muscle memory. And that's one thing that I am really enjoying to get into game, is because it's making me actually think of the shots now. I'm not just switching off. I'm not just looking at the wind, looking at the distance. I'll talk about the wind now in a second. I'm not just looking at the wind, the distance, the elevation. set myself up and banging out the shot within less than like we say 5 to 10 seconds. I'm not just going complete autopilot. I actually have to think of my shots now, and I really do love that. And if you're even slightly off, like it might happen here. Say I can't remember. No, it wasn't too bad, but I have had shots where even actually say coming out of the bunker. Those of you who have been with the channel for quite a while, like throughout 2K23, when they'd be performing a splash shot out of a bunker, everybody knows that I go to not the grid line directly behind the pin, but the one just after that. So I say the second grid line behind the pin, and then I'd completely pull back on the attack angle, really open up the attack angle on the club, and then just hit it. And provided I didn't blast the bloody thing, I would usually end up within a few feet of the hole. And even if you're just slightly off, you're fluffing that ball. You're not even getting out of the bunker. So there was a lot more. What's the word? A lot more chance for an error shot. Now, obviously, like everybody plays at their own difficulty. I went straight onto Master Swing, even on the demo. I said, there's no point. I'm Legend, yeah, fair enough. I'll give it a go for the crack the odd time, like, have a little laugh with that. But I did try it obviously in the demo, and I got the challenges done for that. But the reason why I said to myself I'll stick with Master Swing is because I know that's the societies that are going to transfer over to the game from 2K23, the likes of TGC Tours and TaylorMade, all those that have been in over the years. 99% sure they're going to be on Master Swing. It's going to be pretty much, I think anyway. I could be wrong, but I think it's pretty much going to be similar sort of setup. Just give or take a few things, just to make minor adjustments for the way that the game is now. But yeah, when it comes to transitioning from, if you've been playing the first look demo since 2K released that, when you go from that to the game, there is one big major thing to keep in mind, and it did screw me up quite a few times, and that is the wind. Oh yes, the wind. So obviously, for those of you, which a lot of you will have played the first look demo, in the driving range, the practice facility, the wind is active, but obviously out on the back nine of Scottsdale, which everyone was provided with to play, the wind is not active. And you should have seen it already early in this round. I think it was the third hole. The third hole, the dog leg left. It should have been. You may have noticed it. It's probably happened. It'll have happened more than once anyway. Where I don't know why, but for some reason I wasn't registering the wind at first in my head. Now you can see here, I am aiming, I'm adjusting for the wind. But at first, with the likes of the headwind, the third hole in particular, the approach shot into the green. When I look back at the footage, it was a 10 mile per hour headwind, and because I've been playing the demo, as I say, it didn't register in my head, and I set up for an approach shot. I think it was a pitch shot directly just after the pin, and then to check up and spin back a little bit to the hole. And I recalled myself then. Oh yeah, I was saying to myself, Jesus, that came up short. Completely forgetting about the wind. So yeah, that's one bit of advice I will give you when you do get hands on with the game. Don't forget that the wind is active. But in terms of overall gameplay, I'm really enjoying the career mode so far. I did start out on Q School and failed that miserably. Well, not miserably. I can't remember exactly where I finished up. I was over par anyway. Now, the way that I'm playing the game personally myself, like, I do love how you can customize the career for whether you want to do 1 round, 2 rounds, whatever. Do the dynamic rounds as well, like just only play certain holes, etc. But for me personally, the way that I'm doing it, I always do it with especially with a first season playthrough. I'll always do 4 rounds, and I'm playing the full rounds as well. And I can't remember, I think it was the first round on Q School, I shot 4 over. The second round I shot 6 over. And obviously I'm playing pretty much exactly exactly the same as I mentioned a moment ago, difficulty wise, like master swing, and stuff like that. I have it all set up as close as I can, or as close as I can think anyway, to 2K23. It's just getting used to the swing bias, and then obviously the button and stuff. Now, obviously, golfer is low rated, or at the time was low rated. Now I've leveled up quite a bit. So that was playing a factor as well. That just adjusting to the new tempos and stuff like that in the game. So yeah, the first round I'm pretty sure was a 4 over, and then it was a 6 over, and then all of a sudden the third round, bang! I could not be stopped. I shot out a 16 under par. And I was like, holy bloody crap, as it finally clicked. So the fourth round then I shot, I think it was a 1 under. So I ended up 7 under. Like, I mean, that was some comeback, to be honest, to get back under par. But unfortunately, I didn't make it onto directly onto the PGA Tour. So I was actually kind of happy with that, because I wanted to get onto the Corn Ferry anyway and go through that. And I was struggling quite a bit then as well through the Corn Ferry. I had to play the full season, or every event in the Corn Ferry. I am up onto the PGA Tour now. I did win overall. I got to 3 wins anyway. The third win being the final event of the Corn Ferry, the Summit Championship at funnily enough TPC Scottsdale, and that is actually where I got my first hole-in-one. And I'll showcase that actually in the next video, which will be dropping fairly close after this one. It may be during the live stream that I do, or just after it, something like that. But it will be dropping on at some point on the 20th anyway. But another thing that I do have to say, because I'm just looking at it here, because I couldn't. The commentary in the game. Now, I'm the same myself. I usually always turn the commentary off. You'll know that from doing videos that obviously I don't want. I will have the volume up, the gameplay volume up slightly in this, so you might be able to hear John talking away. But obviously everybody turns off the commentary. I feel every single possible sports game, or any game that has gameplay commentary over it, there's only so many lines in the scripts that can be done, and obviously they are going to start getting repetitive after a certain amount of time. So 99.9% of people are usually going to switch them off. There are people who will keep it on for career. I do enjoy. I don't mind keeping it on for that kind of immersion factor. But I did put a post onto one of the Facebook groups as well, asking about. It was in the demo. Where John did a piece of did a line of commentary saying it, and he just wanted to thank us all thank me for not turning off the commentary. That he was very grateful for that. And now I'm wondering whether or not that was scripted to only come in after a certain amount of hours. I'm not sure, because I hadn't heard it before, and obviously I was playing as much as I could possibly play on the demo, because obviously everybody's excited, want to play it, wanted to get a feel for the new mechanics of the game. And I can't remember how many hours I got in the game, but I think it was at least 4 or 5 hours worth to play anyway into the game, where that line came. I was like, oh, John knows us all too well. He knows that we're all saying, oh, John, shut up. We're just going to turn you off. Obviously John is the voice of the golf club and the PGA 2K games. He has been the commentator right from day one. So he is part of the game. And I will say, do keep the commentary on. I will suggest that, just to see if you can hear the new little quirky bits. Like, a lot of the commentary is the same. There is the addition in the career mode. Obviously, we do have John, we have Rich, we have Luke, and we have Henny Kayak back as well, all for commentary on the career mode. But once you get onto the PGA Tour, we've got the addition of another commentator, host commentator, which is, am I getting the name right now? It's Andrew, is it Catalan? I think it is, one of the broadcaster, and all the others. The commentary feels more natural, but I noticed it doesn't seem to be all of his lines, but some of it just seems very. What's the best way to put it? Like, as if, like, I mean, obviously it probably is the case in a studio. You're not going to recording the lines and stuff. It just feels very monotone. Would that be the best way to put it? Like, it doesn't. Some of the lines feel like there's no real emotion to it. Now, that's nothing personal against the guy. To my knowledge, anyway, it's first appearance in a video game, doing any sort of commentary. But it kind of sounded odd. But as I say, I am going to keep the commentary on because it is interesting. I do like hearing what they say. Like, okay, what way is the commentators going to react, or not interact, but react would be, I think, the best thing to each shot, and how it's all presented for each of the things like that. I do enjoy hearing that. Now, moving on, I do want to raise a couple of small concerns about the game. I did notice it a little bit during the first look demo. Wasn't as bad. I have reported it to 2K. I don't know if any of the other guys, don't know if Apex or anyone else, C-Mount and stuff, and Binks and all that. I don't know if any of them have also reported. I think they're all mostly playing. I could be wrong now, but I think they're all playing on PC. It could be playing on PS. Actually, I think Makachada. I think I pronounced his name right. I'm always getting that one getting that pronunciation wrong. I think he's playing on PS5, all right, because I did see, which I will touch on briefly in a few minutes as well. I have been watching his videos, and he was going on about controller settings, and he did have the PS5 DualSense Edge in that. So yeah, and the gameplay, you could see the PS5 buttons, etc. But yeah, one big concern that I do have is, this is going to be before I get onto like features that I'm really that I'm liking, that I'm loving about the game. But yeah, it's frame rate. It's the frame rate and stuttering. Sort of, kind of, I suppose you want to say, a lot of people call them like legacy issues. I have had a couple of times where after a round in career, it's I want to say the game's basically kind of soft locked, something like that. So as the round is finished and it's transitioning then to show you the results screen, the commentary stops. The camera just indefinitely wants to pan, and I've had to force close the game and restart it. Now, I did also have it. That was once at the end of a round. That happened. I did have it on, what event was it? I think I was playing TPC Deer Run. It was TPC Deer Run. It was on the 18th hole. Excuse me. I was doing my approach shot into the green, and transitioning between the ball coming to a stop and loading up to address for the first putt. Again, it did kind of soft lock itself, and I had to restart. Now, obviously, when I rebooted the game, I thought, it's gonna screw me over. But because when I got back into the menu, then it was showing me as even par. But I must have been just looking at the screen wrong. But I did get to retake that approach shot again. If I remember right, actually, I ended up with a fairly similar result. I didn't improve on that anyway. But that is a thing there where still getting the sort of soft locks. But as I mentioned a moment ago, some of you may have seen it during the first look demo. I did say the frame rates. I say now I have reported it to 2K. Again, I don't know if any of the others have been experiencing the same issues. I did double check, and I made sure that the game is not installed on my M.2 expanded storage. It's installed directly on the console storage, because I do remember that the likes of the Golf Club 2, and I think 2019, I can't remember. After, I'd always forgotten about it during those ones, and obviously those were PS4 days. But I remember 2K21 and 23, I just always had installed directly on the console storage for PS5. But I remember on the PS4, if you had an external hard drive or anything, that the game didn't really play very nice. It didn't like you having it installed on an external storage. So I did make sure that I was installed on the console storage, which I am. But I'm getting some very, very bad frame rate issues. Again, I don't know. It could be just a pre-launch thing. Maybe it's just whatever way, because obviously you're going to be connected to the servers. So I don't know if it's something there. I don't know if it's on 2K's end server-wise. I don't know if it's on my end hardware-wise or anything like that. But I did notice some kind of a little bit of choppiness here and there through the first look demo. Now, obviously, servers have gone live. Everybody's jumping on at once, so it could have been that. But, excuse me, once I got hands on with the full game, yeah, I was experiencing issues quite bad. In particular, there was the choppiness, where the frames were stuttering and really dropping during shots, but a little bit worse than what I was experiencing in the demo. But in between shots, and then again transitioning from your final putt dropping to the results and stuff like that, it's really, really dropping and having some problems. So hopefully that gets ironed out fairly quick. I'm sure it will. It could be just teething problems just pre-launch anyway. As I say, just getting everything ready. Maybe server. As I say, I don't know. It could be my end. It could be my internet, my connection. Even though I'm all hardwired up, I have gigabit broadband. So I mean, it could just be maybe on the server end or something like that. But again, that is one concern that I have. Another one that do keep an eye out for. You may have experienced it during the demo. Is another legacy one that, as I say, the legacy one is a legacy issue is what people are calling them, because they've been in the game for so long, is the little swing hiccups. My commentary is hicking up now at the moment, but yeah, those little swing hiccups where you got to pull the stick back and the club doesn't move, and right as you're about to push forward, then the club moves and yanks right back up over your golfer's head at lightning speed. So just keep an eye on that maybe if you are kind of experienced that, just do your little, as I call it, little dummy swing. Just pull back and just let go of the stick. Don't take your swing. I haven't experienced it that much, but just a few cases here and there. But yeah, they're the main issues that I am experiencing now at the moment. But on to things so far anyway that I am loving about the game. So the first thing that I am loving about the game is obviously just the overall appearance of the game, visual-wise, graphics and stuff like that. Now, everybody, it doesn't matter the game, is always like, oh, the graphics are crap. Oh, the graphics are brilliant. Yeah, the graphics are so-so. My rule for games is graphics don't make a game. And to me, like, I mean, keep in mind that before, like, I know everybody has had a go at the first look demo, so you've got to see firsthand the visuals of the game. You know how detailed the game is, especially with the free cam and stuff like that, and like the custom replays, so you can get in, get really down and see the finer details of the game. But a lot of people saying, oh, the graphics are crap compared to EA. This isn't EA, and so my pecking order from most important down to least important are, for games, for whether or not I'm going to make a purchase, is story, if applicable. So if a game has a story or not, like if it doesn't apply, okay, fair enough, cross that one off the list. There's not really a story in this, fair enough. If you want a class, quote unquote class, or well, I wouldn't do that in quotes, but if you want a class, quote unquote story mode for this game being career, fair enough. It's your story, I suppose, again, your quote unquote story through the PGA Tour, rising up through the ranks and stuff like that. Fair enough, you can factor that in as being one of the things. The next one then is gameplay. I'm trying to think, I always remember that there was another one. I always remember it being the top four, but my top three anyway. My least important thing about is graphics. That's down my list. Like, I mean, yes, graphics are important in the game. It is. The better the graphics, the better the experience in the game. But graphics, they're not the make all, the be all end all, shall I say, of a good game. I've played plenty of games over the years where the graphics are absolutely fucking shocking, but the game is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And what people seem to, because obviously everybody's going to compare this to EA, and when EA launched, compared that to 2K23, and saying that the graphics are so much better in EA compared to 2K. Yeah, but keep in mind one thing: you've got a limited amount of courses on EA's game, whereas 2K, we're still on the Unity engine. Would myself and others would love to have seen an engine change? Yeah, sure, an upgrade in engine. But you have to factor in then, if they were going to do an engine change of the game, maybe make their own engine or switch over to Unreal or something like that, would the course designer be able to port across to that as well? We have got an infinite amount of courses. Now, obviously, like, designers are going to have to port over their courses, maybe make a few tweaks here and there once they get hands on with the game. But with the detail that some of the absolutely amazing designers within the community put into the detail that they put into their courses. Can you imagine the memory and the processing power and all that sort of stuff? If we upgraded, I will just use Unreal as an example. Like, I mean, there are games on the Unreal Engine that are kind of bad looking, but I'll just use that one off the top of my head anyway. Unless they were, unless 2K were to create their own game engine, the processing power and stuff like that would go, and the memory that would be taken up just to play one course. And to have all those courses then start, and like, because obviously you're not downloading the course when you play, you're playing it from the server, so you're not downloading those courses onto your storage. You're basically streaming those courses as you're playing them. So I mean, you've got to have some give and take, and I personally think the game looks absolutely bloody. It looks fantastic for being still on the Unity. I'm not sure what version of Unity engine we're on now. Is it 5 or something like that? I can't remember. But like, the game looks absolutely amazing. Like, I mean, if you look at the likes of the crowds as well, like there seems to be a lot more variety in spectator models, I noticed, compared to the previous games. The overall look of the course is absolutely stunning. Again, if you're watching this now, and obviously the first round there a few moments ago was, I think this is where I got my thumb. If provided my commentary lines up correctly, this is where I got my thumbnail for this video. Yeah, 5th hole should be. I am actually going to talk about the custom replays again in a minute. I've lost my train of thought. Yes, sorry. If you're like, well, obviously you're watching this video, the first round there was Pebble Beach, and now we're on TPC Sawgrass. I was about to say Scottsdale for some reason, but Sawgrass. Like, they look absolutely amazing. The courses look brilliant. Obviously, YouTube's compression. Like, I know I'm going to upload this video in 4K, so I'm not. But the compression rate and stuff, it obviously brings the quality, it brings the visual quality down a little bit. So it's probably you watching this video, it's not going to look as good as if you were playing it on your 4K TV or your 1440 or 4K monitor or something like that. It's not going to look as good. There is that compression rate, and the game does look absolutely fantastic. Now, a few people were saying, was Scottsdale maybe the best choice for 2K to pick for the demo? But considering the time that they actually did put it out there, it was during the Waste Management Open. It wouldn't make sense, just as you see it on screen now, it wouldn't make sense for them to put out Sawgrass advertising the Players Championship during the Waste Management. Just like vice versa, if it was during the Players, it wouldn't make sense to release the demo and say, right, here's the demo for our new game, we're releasing it during the Players Championship, but we're going to let you play Scottsdale for the Waste Management instead. So some people were saying, was that the best choice? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I enjoyed it. It was only the back 9. I would have loved to actually see the full, played the full course, to be fair. But yeah, so like, I mean, a lot of people will have seen firsthand. Now, some people, like, I think it was Respawn, and one of the other guys as well was saying about like character models and stuff like that don't seem to in the your character creator, golfer creator, yeah, looks absolutely amazing. Like, I mean, the sort of Letterman style jacket that I have on here, which funnily, ironically, with my gameplay in the background, says professional online golfer on the patch on the back, just in case you're wondering. This gameplay doesn't reflect that much, but the detail that was in it, like, I was having close-up looks. I was going into the replays and stuff like that and having close-up looks. And do you ever get where there's something, you get something in your head, you get a picture of something in your head, and it's like you can touch it, you can feel the texture of the stuff, and you can almost, you know, the way like that sort of leathery material, you can get that distinct smell. It's, when I was looking at it, like, it's weird to say, but just the detail that was in it, like, you can see the differences in the different materials and stuff like that, and the wear and tear sort of on the patches and all that thing. And I was like, I can feel that. It's like the detail is, it's almost as if I could feel it. So, like, I mean, the detail is there, but again, I say, if you're watching it on videos and stuff, the compression rate and stuff like that is going to bring it down, maybe not let it look as polished. But no, overall the game looks absolutely fantastic. Now, I was saying that just a moment ago there that I do want to touch on the replays again, and that, I think, is one of the best features added to the game.. I personally myself have been, I was regularly over the last few years for 2K20 before 2K21 launched and before 2K23 launched and during both games life cycles as well, asking like, can we get a free cam? Please, for the love of God, give us a free cam or Sky Cam on console. Like, not just for the likes of myself or anybody else on console that does course playthroughs and reviews and stuff like that, to be able to have a proper look around at the finer details that designers have put in, but even just for the regular players like yourselves. If you're just a regular player, maybe you're saying, oh, what the hell was that over there on the course? And some of the effort you would have to go through using the scout cam and whatnot to be able to just try and get something of a look at little details that a design and features that a designer will put into their course. Now we just have that freedom, and it's that's a win. That is a big win for console players. And obviously it's available. It's a feature in the PC version as well, and absolutely amazing feature. And one thing that I actually I checked it out just before I started to record this commentary. It's not only during the gameplay as well. I will show it off in the next video. I'm going to mess around in the menus and shit, show you all different stuff, and like my handicap and all that sort of stuff. But what you can do is, if you save a replay, because I did save the replay of my very first hole in one. It was the 12th that was it hole 12? Yeah, I think it was the 12th, par 3 12th at Scottsdale. In the full game, no, not in the demo. I did save the replay, and obviously you can go in and you can rewatch that replay. But it'll give you, when you click on a replay, it'll come up the little options: dynamic replay or custom replay. So you can go in there. And just say, for example, now if I was playing that round, recording that round to upload it, and I saved that replay, I don't have to mess around while live recording and then either keep that in, wasting time, or edit it out. I can just say, right, after I finish recording, go into the replay, and I can mess around in there then and find the perfect angle or shot or whatever it is that I want for the thumbnail for the video. Now obviously that's only just replay specific, but the fact that like there's so much more, it's really opened it up now, because again, like for the likes of console, obviously people would know from my thumbnail stuff, I'd like to get shots of courses, and it's going to make it so much easier. Like, I mean, I could easily record the round, and then I could just kind of log something in my mind, say, okay, right, we'll just say hole 6 or something. I noticed something there, that would be a good shot for the thumbnail. I can just go back and just replay the car, load up the course again, take that first tee shot and zip off to hole number 6 to where I want to take that shot from, and not interrupt the flow of the video, just get the video done and still get exactly what I want for the thumbnail without wasting too much time. And yeah, talking of time, look at me, I'm still yapping on. Commentating now, or coming up, it's just saying my timeline now is just 38 minutes into the video that I have here that I'm doing the commentary on, out of what, just over, it's saying about 53 minutes. I might chop it down a little bit, but yeah, I didn't think I was going to be commentating for this long. But again, I'm Irish, I can't make a long story short. So for those of you who are actually still here, thank you very much. And I wasn't meant to actually say it at the start of the video, that if you do want to see, if you do enjoy the content on the channel, I don't normally say it at this point in the video or any earlier, but do make sure to hit subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And also as well, if you are watching this before sort of afternoon time or whatever, do hit the bell as well, just so you get notified when I do go live before the game launches. I'm hoping to get 2 live streams in, but there will definitely be at least 1. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, the other thing that I love is just career mode. I'd say, like, there's a couple of things that I'm not overly happy with. Well, one kind of thing that I'm not really overly happy with, but otherwise there's so much to do, and it's gonna bring so much life. Like, I mean, career mode could get dull. It got really dull in 2K21, 2K23. Like, you'd fly through your sponsors, get everything unlocked. If there was any, say, trophies or achievements that you wanted to get, if you were going for the platinum on PlayStation or whatever, and you had to say win X amount or whatever. I can't remember what the trophies were now. Once that's done, it's like, I don't care for career mode anymore. Game to Society is going to be ranked, online matchmaking. There'll be get online, play a few rounds with friends and stuff like that. And career mode is just absolutely completely forgotten about. There's so many challenges to do, so much stuff to unlock. Now I will find, like, with the sponsors, like you've got 9 tiers to work up through on the sponsors, and they seem to be if I can get my words out, seem to be progressing a lot slower than I recall. I say it's been a long time since I played, even touched or looked at the career mode in 2K23. But I don't remember it. I don't remember progressing up through the different tiers and unlocking the things with the sponsors. And now the one thing that I'm not really liking, I would like to have seen different in with the sponsors is not everything is. I would have liked to see it specifically be equipment and apparel. So whether it's just a few hats or whether it's a combination of maybe say tier 2 you'll unlock a hat, tier 5 or something like that you'll unlock a top or a pair of shoes or something like that, and then other tiers some clubs or balls if that particular brand does those. Now, fair enough. I know it is a way to unlock the stuff but you'll get your level up tokens and stuff like that. I would have personally myself preferred to see just brand specific stuff for your sponsor. So whether it's Nike or something like Nike or Adidas, let me see, Under Armour, who else have we got in there? Titleist, TaylorMade and stuff like that. So whoever you have, it's just specific. Like I would have liked to see just specific branded stuff for that particular sponsor and brand, rather than how doing the just leveling up, maybe hit a certain level or something like that. Not with your sponsor, but you level up your golfer to a certain level. Okay, right, here's a little reward. Here's a Evo tool to level up, to evolve. That's the word. I only said it a second ago. But to evolve one of your clubs or something like that. Like you do still get them with certain parts and stuff like that. But I would have preferred, personally myself, to see sponsors be specifically brand orientated, not have the other stuff associated with it as well. But I do feel like they progress a lot slower. Like I'm currently now in the career mode. I'm sponsored. I did initially get the offer of sponsorship with the golf club brand. And I think I got up to tier 2, but I played a few rounds. And I wasn't playing overly bad. And it took a few rounds to get up to tier 2. Now I don't know if it was just maybe my kind of hit and miss, not the best gameplay. But then I switched over. I got an offer from Cobra, so I said, right, I'll switch over to Cobra, and it's still kind of the same. Still, it's not going up as fast. So I don't know if that's just me. Whatever, just. It's just something in my mind is just thinking like this is going a lot slower than I remember from 2K23. Like I should have been up more levels, but it does help. Like you're not just going to be swapping brands after a few rounds. Like, oh yay, I've leveled up to level 6 or something like that. Another few rounds, right? Level 9, there we go. Bang, that's TaylorMade done. Let's switch over to such and such. And knock that one out. And so it will kind of bring a little... Oh, yeah, looking at my caddy in the background, I think she's fucking anemic. She needs to get out in the sun. She's as pale as anything. But that's... I digress. Anyway, that's taking me off topic. But yeah, that's the only kind of little gripe that I have with the likes of the sponsors. I would have liked to just see it... I've kind of dragged on a little bit too much on that now. I would have liked to see that just brand-specific for stuff in there. But... Otherwise, yeah, I'm absolutely loving the career. With the likes of the interview stuff, it is kind of fun seeing the responses and stuff, how you can respond to questions and such, to your performance. But I'd say maybe like that'll probably just become, it's kind of like what's the word? Would it be novelty? A novelty thing? That maybe like depending on how you personally might be playing your career, you might knock that out. You might just skip those after a while. Maybe like I'll do it for the first season. It doesn't come up in between rounds or anything. That's just after an event. So depending on if you're just doing dynamic holes and stuff like that, or playing 1 round events, it'll come up a lot quicker for yourself. But otherwise, it only comes up after every 4th round for me. So it's not too much. It only takes a couple of minutes and stuff like that, and then you get your little offers. Obviously, as you know, the rivalries are back. I can't remember who it is now. I did get a rivalry last night when I was playing. When I got onto the PGA Tour. So like in terms of then the PGA pros that are in the game, obviously the highlights are back. I haven't seen any yet. And I'm trying to remember from 2K23 and before, if you had to have a rivalry Because I remember seeing golfers that I wasn't a rival of, but no, I haven't had any rivals show up yet. Throughout, like I played a full 4 rounds of the opening event on the PGA Tour, and I didn't get one single one. So I don't know if it's tied if those highlights and replays are tied specifically to your rival at the time. I guess I'll find that out fairly soon, because I am gonna start playing the game now in a few minutes once I've finished doing this commentary, and probably record a round from one of the events, or maybe just a casual round, something like that. But yeah, so it remains to be seen. Hopefully they're improved a little bit more, because I know there were people were saying they were kind of a little bit janky. I know there was an issue for quite a while where the camera would just stick to the golfer. So say like this image now showing my golfer, they take the shot and it just sticks there. It's like, oh, where's the bloody ball gone? I want to see the shot, not the golfer. So it'd be interesting to see now if that's been adjusted in any way, what way it's done now. I'd say it's probably going to be fairly similar. Just obviously the transition between holes there and stuff like that. Another thing that I will say is, now it does remain to be seen as to how it's going to be when it comes to the likes of community design courses, community and player design courses, and for societies, for connections. But loading times have, from what I've seen so far, greatly improved. With loading into courses and transitions between menus and stuff like that. Like, obviously, I know a lot of people have experienced it where you get hung up on the menu and be sitting there. I go and make a cup of tea or a sandwich or something like that, where you get hung up on a menu where it's going, say you're going between different societies or something like that, and it just hangs up for a while. That's it. Now, again, as I say, it does remain to be seen once the game goes live. We do have to see once societies start opening up. And obviously the servers are proper full with the player base. What are the load times going to be like then? Hopefully it is a similar case of what I'm experiencing now. But otherwise, yeah, load times have been greatly improved, making for a much better experience overall in terms of going between menus and rounds and stuff like that. But I'm trying to think, because I'm not. This is all unscripted. I was planning to write down some little bullet points and stuff like that for topics that I wanted to touch on. The only other thing that I can think of is, again, like going back to, I mentioned him earlier there, Makachada. Again, am I pronouncing that right? I'm always buggering that up, pronunciation. But his video on controller and stuff like that, about I remember saying it before on the golf club too, about when I was doing a tips and tricks video. One thing, like some people would say to me, like, oh, 1 minute I can shoot great, the next thing it's like I've never picked up a controller in my life. And I've said to people, what way were you sitting? And he did mention about like sitting in a chair, or like sitting fully square on at the center of your screen. Like, don't be sitting off at a 60-degree angle, like if you're sitting on the side chair in your front room, your living room or whatever, watching the way you'd normally watch the telly, that's no problem. But if you're trying to play a game like this where there's rhythm involved, you'll want to be sitting perfectly straight on, and all that stuff. So he goes into all that. It's a great video if you haven't checked it out. I will, if I think of it when I'm uploading this video, I'll stick a link to that down in the description. If you have not seen it already, I'm sure a lot of people have anyway. It has got quite a fair few views. But one other thing, like I say, I was struggling, even though I was leveling up my character, I was struggling with the putts. Like, I mean, you can see, we get this shot out of the way. I'm curious now, because I'm off down the cart path here. Like, I mean, spoiler alert on the final hole. Like, there we are, out of bounds. But spoiler alert, I think, yeah, I hit the stroke limit. Like, we're on, yeah. It wasn't going too bad. Now, I think it was 3 over. I finished at Pebble Beach. Like, here we are, hole 16 now on Sawgrass. Now, obviously, like, my favorite course is Pebble Beach. And inside my top 5 again is Sawgrass. That's why I said I'll pick these two. From my first 2 rounds, because I absolutely love these courses. I know these courses so well, and I was fully expecting to come into these rounds and shoot under par. I was saying, okay, like, I played the demo. I was a bit up and down with it, like, you know. Obviously I was just playing the same back 9 holes in Scottsdale over and over again. There was no wind involved, but bloody hell, I actually came in with the mindset, I should be able to shoot under par here comfortably, and I was actually shocked because with how well I know the courses. But you will see in a moment. hole 18. Yeah, I hit the stroke limit, and yes, I say spoiler alert, ended up plus 13. I think I had, no, wait, hold on, what did we get on this? Oh, right, yeah, so this is about, no, it wasn't plus 13, was it? What the hell did I hit again on that? I'm trying to remember, did I bogeyed this, and did I birdie? Oh yeah, I think I birdied 17, I think, actually, I can't remember, so I'll just... But while we're waiting for that to come up anyway, yeah, look at it like that. Look at that scorecard. But yeah, it was just about like controller settings and stuff like that. I say I was struggling mainly. I was struggling with the rhythm on my putts, and 1 minute I'd be saying myself, I didn't push the stick forward that quick. What the bloody hell? And I would be bombing the ball past the hole and off the green. Like I could be on one side of the green, have a long putt, and I'd be going with kind of the rhythm and tempo that I'd so used to with 2K23, that I think, right, the ball's just going to cozy itself up close to the hole, I'll tap it in for the par or whatever, and boom, it's off the other side of the bloody ground. It's like, I didn't go that bloody hard on it, like, you know, what's going on here? And then obviously the follow-up shot, the follow-up putts around it, I keep that in mind, and I'd underhit it, because I'd be pushing forward a little bit slower, and I was having terrible trouble with my rhythm. So I was using my stock DualSense controller that I did actually get with my PS5, which I've always used in the golf. It's always in 2K21, 2K23, because it just felt more comfortable. Now I do have the DualSense Edge controller myself. Now obviously I'm not, as Makachada says in his video, he's not saying to anybody like, go out there and pay 200 to 250 euros, dollars, or whatever it is in your currency wherever you live. Not go out there and be paying that much for a controller just to play a golf game. But if you do have one, I do highly suggest checking out his video and tweaking the settings. As you can see, I'm in the water. Oh, this hole just went bad. For some reason, it wasn't even the wind. I don't know what it was. It must have been my swing line. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, off we go. I pulled the shit out of that one. But yeah, I tweaked the controller settings. I said, you know what? I'll see what. I'll have a look at now what way the controller he has his controller set up, and I'll try those. So I did that, and boom, it just everything started to click. Like I'm being a lot more consistent now, and it actually feels much more natural. But again, I am not in any way telling anybody, as he did himself in his video, I'm not telling anybody to go out and pay 200 quid on a controller, like we've done. Like if you do have means to get one, and you're not going to break the bank, by all means go ahead, if you do wish. But otherwise, no, just stick with the stock controller, and rhythm will come. I was kind of getting a bit of a handle on it after a while with the stock controller, so it can be done. But if you do have an Edge controller and like that, where you can tweak sensitivities and stuff like that, go ahead and see how it is. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there, because that is 52 minutes. So if you have made it this far listening to me waffle on, I hope you did enjoy it. Don't forget to drop it a like. If you're just brand new to the channel or you haven't done so already, do consider subscribing, and I will talk to you all in the next one, which I'm going to go and record now, and then I will talk to you all live in the live stream on the 20th. Until then, take care, have yourselves a good one, and bye for now.